Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Georgia Dome for the 2001 99X Moe's Celebrity Softball Slam for Muscular Dystrophy. I'm Bob Neal, Fred Khalil, and Axel. We're going to have a great time because there's some big names playing in the celebrity softball. We know they're really good at what they do for their day jobs. We'll see how good they are here. We know some of them are going to be good because some of them are athletes.
Exactly. You know, you've got Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Tommy Glavine here every year, Shane Durnett of the Falcons. So really, this is really a good group of athletes that are here mixed in with some of the music stars, Axel.
That's why I'm along. I got the two professional sportscasters and then me that knows all the sketchy rock crowd. We have formerly of the Marvelous Three, a solo record coming out. Will Turpin from Collective Soul, Ed Rowland from Collective Soul, and Evan and Jaron, the musical singing duet out of Marietta, Georgia.
All right, well, we're looking forward to that, Bob.
Yeah, there's a lot of these. Most of the players, the celebrities, will be mic'd. So I want to tell you to cover up your children's ears. No, this will be a definitely PG-rated softball game here tonight. Really nice crowds gather here at the Georgia Dome. A great softball field layout here. They're going to be hitting some of these balls into the seats at the Georgia Dome. And we know you're going to have a great time, and we are ready to get underway. First up,
Jimmy.
Ivan Rule will hit first tonight for Jimmy's Hitting Shack. Ivan, one of the two high bidders on 99X to play in this ball game, and of course that money goes to muscular dystrophy, and we appreciate it. And here's the opening pitch for the 2001 Celebrity Slam. A little chin music already. Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Let's clear the benches. Here we go.
Look out! The benches are cleared.
We're not even underway yet.
Oh, no! Shane Durnett out there. Will Turpin avoiding the spray.
Look out for the hammer tuggle.
Luke Jensen right in the middle of it.
Just the threat of Goldberg stopped it all. All right, I think we have things settled down now. That can shake up the pitcher. He may have some problems. And our second hitter, Collective Soul, Will Turpin.
Look out, baby. This guy can play.
Can't imagine.
Fudge.
All right, that's ball four. Turpin doesn't even get a swing.
Walks as good as a single.
That's right. Walks as good as a hit, Will.
Way to take one for the team, Will. So 1 on, 1 out. The third hitter, Goldberg.
I was on Barnes' team last year. Jimmy beat us.
We're going to win this year. Jimmy,
yeah, we're going to win this year.
That's what it's all about.
Barnes, your ass is mine.
There it goes.
Goldberg.
There it goes.
Tattoos it in.
That's a homer. That's
Out of here. However,
That's gone. That's
gone.
That's past the black tar.
It looks like it from here.
so we have a 2-0 lead already.
Two-run blast from Goldberg.
All right, hitting fourth with nobody on base now. Chipper Jones.
Oh,
That's in the upper deck.
see ya.
Well, it's 3-0.
I hope Barnes bought plenty of souvenirs for tonight because these balls aren't coming back. Gifts to the fans.
So the Hitting Shack leading 3-0, only 1 out in the top of the first inning. And now hitting fifth, Braves shortstop Mark DeRosa. There's the high pitch.
And there it's ripped right past Jones.
It's a single into left field and may stretch it into a double. Who knows, maybe a triple. Little lackadaisical outfield play.
Exactly. You know, these guys got to get off their can and play some field.
Thought he got it high. He stepped into it.
You got to play some defense.
That's what you keep him to hit the ball out. If you throw him low, he's not able to hit it. You got to put it up in the air.
And now, a power-hitting linebacker, Jesse the Hammer Tuggle. Uh-oh. A foul ball. Is it going to be grabbed? Yes. Andrew Jones runs it down.
Nice cover.
And now 2 away.
Nice cover.
Holyfield.
2 outs, right?
Four-time world heavyweight champion at the plate. We know he can hit.
Yes, we do. With a bat, we're not so sure.
That's lined into left field. Here's the throw from Courier. Runner is waved on. He slides. He is. Oh, they called him out. They called him out. Well, after the top of the first inning, Jimmy's Hitting Shack leads 3-0 on 2 monumental home runs.
Wow. Powerful first inning. 3-0. Both Goldberg and Chipper Jones on the first pitch hit a home run. Was this your plan from the start to have the heavy hitters?
I got to be honest with you, I didn't see a lot of it because I'm having some sock problems and they keep falling. And for most of the first inning, I was trying to get my socks even. And I understand we scored some runs. But it's important to draw blood first. It's important we get on the board first and use the intimidation factor right off the bat. I think we did that in the first inning, Rich.
Well, good luck to you this inning. We'll see how Barnes' heavy hitters are going to come through. Hopefully your outfield and defense will do a great job.
Well, I would remind you that Ivan Rule, who was pitching for the Hitting Shack, was last year's winning pitcher, and he stymied Jimmy's Hitting Shack last year, which is why he was the second-round draft choice this year.
First up for the Barnes Stormers will be Evan Lowenstein. There's a single up the middle. Yeah.
Brother, man. Sweet.
Good job, man.
I mean, so it didn't go 40 rows up. Big deal.
Hitting second. Playing the outfield. Barnes.
Would you look at that?
That's deep.
Barnes puts it out. It's past the black tarp. It's a home run.
Oh, my.
Wait a minute.
And we have a 3-2 ball game just like that, and nobody out in the bottom of the first inning.
Hold it. Time out. This is not Barnes. This is not Barnes. Who is this guy? Where's Barnes? Hey, hey, hey. There he is, right over there. Look. Pick up a bat there, Captain America.
Pull it up.
There's Barnes. You're back on first base.
So wipe off the 2-run homer.
Give me something, baby.
He does it.
Wait a minute.
It's going to drop down into the single area.
Not a bad poke.
A single.
Luke Jensen, it's hard for him to keep score when it's not in increments of 15. We count by ones, Luke.
Come on, Big Shea.
There's a nice
Little knock.
Exactly.
It's going to score a run. Oh, whoa.
No,
They held him up
at third. We have the bases loaded.
Who's coaching over there at third?
All right, Andrew Jones is going to step in with the bases loaded.
I tell you, it's hard to concentrate on hitting when you've got your Ferrari 360 Spider parked outside on the south end of town.
That's a fair ball. It's going to
Into the stands.
bring in 2. Yeah, that's going to be a double, and we'll allow 2 runs in. So Andrews with his ground rule double at second. Luke Jensen at third. We have a 3-2 game, nobody out. And Ray Ferraro. Smash into left field. That's going to bring in 2 runs. Got past Will Turpin.
There it is.
I guess
That's
got
a
him.
shot.
And it's caught in right field.
Nice catch.
Cindy Parlow. We talked about at least one athlete.
Oh, without question, honestly. There's Javi Lopez.
He looks amazingly like the first batter tonight. Oh, baby. This park ain't gonna hold it. Okay, it's going to be a little tough. There could be some Chen music coming here as Tom Glavine is going to come to the plate.
Hey, if he was such a great hockey player, got drafted by the LA Kings, why does he still have all of his teeth?
Oh, we're not sure of that. All right, that's deep. Does it have enough to get out of there?
That one's a long single.
Long single for Tom Glavine. Okay, Axel. Crash. will be coming to the plate.
I think he needs an ice cold beer for the first base coach.
Tom wants no part of that.
Turpin redeems.
Turpin with a nice over-the-shoulder grab, and it's allowed out. And apparently the motivation was flat. Possible.
Ed Rowland, an amazing voice from Collective Soul, a great head of hair, but can he hit? That's the question.
Can he hit like Scott Rowland?
I jacked that, and we're going to get Turpin's under it. No, Will Turpin with 2 nice catches. That's 3 outs, and after 1 full inning, Stormers 6, the Hittin' Shack 3.
You going to change your plan at all, or are you going to stick with the course that you've got? I mean, right now, you're looking like you're on a good course.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to change anything, because the funny thing is you see the beefcakes popping up over there, and the guys who weren't supposed to do anything are taking care of business. So I like what I see.
Shane Dronette at the plate now. Top of the second. Shane didn't get all of that, but it falls in center field, so Shane will have a single. And now Cindy Parlow from the Atlanta Beat made a great grab out there in right field. There's a bouncer, and Andrew Jones throws out Cindy. And now one of the other 2 high bidders to play in this ball game, Christian Valvo. There's a shot into left field, just past the glove of Andrew Jones. Valvo stretches it to second as Evan decides not to make the throw. And now, from Channel 5, Russ Spencer. There's a bouncer to Andrew Jones. Gets him at first, and Russ, I think you have time to make it back to the 11. Okay, now, designated hitter. Staying away from that. Jimmy.
Oh, perfect.
I don't think that's going to get out of here. And that's 3. And no runs scored by the Hittin' Shack in the top of the second.
That was actually some decent softball.
Now, Andrew, unfortunately, there was a crucial line drive there that was missed. Aren't you kind of glad you signed that $75 million contract before one of them saw you out there just a couple minutes ago?
I don't know, you know.
Next at the plate, hitting 12 from CBS, Jill Arrington. And a hard hit to third base. Chipper in time, 2 away.
How come our 11 Alive sportscasters don't look that good? Wow.
Let's go, Evan! Sorry about that, guys.
Evan with a drive to center field. That's 2 away.
That's 3
or
up,
make
3
it
down.
3. It was so fast I missed one.
That's 3 up, 3 down, baby.
That was horrible. Is that my beer?
Ivan, one of the guys that bought his way into the game, a lot of money raised for the NBA. So congratulations to Ivan.
Bobbled at shortstop. That'll be an error.
Oh, come on, Captain Bob. You can't give him an error. That was a rip.
Scoring is an error. Will Turpin, Collective Soul. Left fielders made some good plays here tonight, Will.
You know what? I do have titanium in my head, but that's another story.
Strokes a single to center field. Goes underneath the ground rule double. That'll hold Rule at third. So we have runners at second and third here in the top of the third.
Look at this.
Oh,
Where'd
what
that
we've
ball
lost.
go?
We've
Somebody's
lost someone.
disappearing out there. We have extra balls.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Javi,
come on back.
Following his towering home run in the first inning. Goldberg with runners on second and third, nobody out. That's going too. Does it get? No, that's going to be a
single.
long, loud single.
Will Turpin cannot advance, so he is at second.
Okay, Chipper, this is why they pay you the big bucks. That's a single into the tarp.
That's a single, dog.
And that just advances the runners one base, so Chipper just brought in one.
Why doesn't advance?
So the bases remain loaded. 6-4, the Barnstormers. That's not going to get anywhere. That's going to be a pop out to shortstop. That'll leave them loaded. Okay, now it's up to the hammer. A hard hit ball to the left side of the infield. There's the throw. Glavine doesn't get it, and Tuggle is safe at first.
Heads up base running by Goldberg, who comes in to score.
We've got a tie game. And now Evander Holyfield. Pop up.
There you go.
And a good catch. Shane Dronette at the plate now. Hard hit to deep shortstop. There's a short hopper. Glavine can handle it this time, and that's 3 away, but not before the hit and check ties it up.
Now, Clark, how does it feel? You were last pick in the draft this year, and do you think you'll see any playing time?
Yes. Once everybody's already gone home, they're going to let me practice.
Luke Jensen. I love those shorts, Luke.
There's a shot up the middle. Barnes is going to hold at third.
Goldberg's in front of me. I can't focus. The intimidation factor.
That's going to get through, and it'll bring in Barnes.
Playing small ball, but the runs are coming in.
Deep to right field. Long running catch by Cindy Parlow.
That's my girl, Cindy Parlow. Wouldn't trade her for anything. There is an athlete.
Here is Javi. I tried to climb out of the ballpark in center field. Lopez. That's not going to get out of here. Jesse Tuggle waves it off, and Valvo makes the catch in center field. That's 3 away.
Cindy, that is amazing. Nothing is getting past you in the outfield. I got to tell you, can anything stop you tonight?
Well, Jim is definitely not getting past me tonight. He's hit 2 out there, and I've caught both. So we'll see if he's going to try again the next time he's up to bat, but I don't think he's got what it takes.
Well, Cindy, you're working your way towards MVP. Good luck for the rest of the night, okay?
Leading off is Cindy Parlow with some great plays out there in right field. Jumping grab.
Third base by Andrew Jones.
And here he comes, finally off the bench.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thunderous applause for the left-handed hitting Clark Howard.
I got to get up there.
There's a slow roller. Oh! He beat it out.
Way to run.
Fans go crazy.
The fans are going crazy. Clark Howard.
Barnes is calling timeout.
You want to be sure Jimmy can hit the ball.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
And they brought him a little.
Twice, you had a great pitch to hit. You didn't
This
go
isn't
for it.
funny. This is insulting on regional television.
Hey,
Semi-regional.
it even has my name on it.
There you go.
It's got my name on it right there.
Take it where you can get it.
There you
I think they'll find some unless you hit. If you miss the ball, Jimmy, could bring some entertainment.
Where's Clark going?
Meantime, Clark Howard
just stole second base.
Whoa! They weren't watching, so I figured I'd steal the base, you know?
off the tee. Jimmy gets the ball into center field. Jimmy, you're going to really take that? You're going to count that as a hit? So 2 on for Ivan Rules. We're back to the top of the order for the Hittin' Shack. Ground ball to second base. The force.
No, I think he got there.
He's safe. Wait a minute. No, they're saying he's out.
Jimmy is player manager. I think you got to stick up for yourself.
Now he's not going to argue this one. He argued everything else.
But you're not going to argue this
shut
one?
up.
All right, here's Tommy Glavine. Has it got enough? Into the seats for a single.
A long single.
And now hitting for the first time tonight, minus the red, white, and blue guitar, Butch Walker, who will also be playing center field.
It's Dion.
To the pitcher. Will it be 2? There's 1. Double play. Okay, Butch has got all he can handle with Goldberg down at first base.
No! No, it's wrong!
Uh-oh. Looking for the body slam triple suplex.
Oh, no, look out.
Crotch grab slam groin herder.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Captain Bob.
From one lead singer to another, here we go. From Butch Walker to Ed Roland from Collective Soul.
That's a fair ball.
Fair ball.
Sterling Marlin brought the souvenirs. Look at the Barnstormers bench.
Here's a short hopper to the pitcher. Rule throws him out. Hold it. Look at down at first base.
Oh, no.
Pit crew, they're making a change down there.
They're making a quick change. They're going to get changed. He needs new rubber.
Let's go.
All right, they're
Get him off the chest in there.
trying to get that changed. Are they going to wipe the windshield? Give him some gas?
He's already got gas, Bob. But he just needed the new rubber.
All right, that's pretty good pit crew.
Wasn't bad. 22 seconds.
In and out.
And that's 3 away. Remains 8-6 Barnstormers.
We need some runs. We're struggling here. We got our big hitters coming up soon, though, so watch out.
Leading off in the 5th, Will Turpin. There's a hard liner into left field for Will Turpin.
Nice rip, Will.
And now with an injury, by the way, from his altercation down at first base. You know, they say this stuff doesn't hurt. It has to hurt. Look at Goldberg. Look at that nose. There's blood gushing.
Gushing out of the nose of Goldberg.
I blooded Goldberg's nose. I blooded Goldberg's nose. I'm dead.
So Butch Walker gave him all he could handle down there at first base.
Jammed him up.
And it's caught by Roland and nearly got Turpin at first, but he's back safely.
I've heard the meaning behind slap.
That's going to hit the roof.
Man. Towering fly ball.
For a long, high single for Chipper.
That almost hit the roof.
All right, Mark DeRosa now with his teammate Chipper at first base. Oh, that's going to stay in. A short ball dropping quickly in right field. Oh, close call, but the put out is made. I can't believe Jesse is retired. Look at him. He looks in better shape than about 70% of the players playing. Hard shot to third place. Look at the play from Andrew. And it's not in time. He had to go deep for that play. Is that going to stay in? No, it's into the tarp area for a single, and that loads the bases.
RBI single.
So we have an 8-7 game now, but the base is still loaded, and Shane Dronette. That's going to fall in out there in left center field, brings in another run. Chipper is in, and the bases remain loaded, and we have a tie game. And they're loaded for Cindy Parlow.
There it is.
Ball to shortstop, over to second for the force out.
We got a game.
At the end of 4.5.
Stormers 8, hitting
You
Shack
better
8.
believe it, Axel. We do have a game.
Nicole Nielsen up next. Goldberg with the backhand. He's going to get to first base first, and one away.
It's a nice unassisted put out.
I can't believe she actually listened to Evander.
Evan with a sharp shot between first and second for a single. Next up is Barnes. A liner into left center field. Evans going to try to get to third and does. So we have runners on the corner.
Heads up base running by Evan.
There we go. Let's get the big boys up now. Come on, Luke.
Luke Jensen up with runners on first and third.
That backhand or backstroke?
That's a long ball, and that reaches the deep seats. That's a home run for Luke Jensen. So Luke Jensen with the two-run homer. With a 2-on,
There's 2 on, Bob. That's 3.
That'd be 3. There were 2 on and 3. Let's see, 3. We'd make it 11-8.
11-8.
Thank you, Fred.
The Barnstormers.
Andrew Jones next up. Hard shot into left field from Andrew. Here's Ray Ferraro.
Wrong one.
That's a long one. It is a long single for Ray Ferraro. He went to the deepest part of the park.
That's a mile. Yes.
Wow. Short pop-up. Shane Dronette backing up, backing up. Misses the ball. He drops it. And the bases are loaded.
I'll tell you a quick little tidbit. When I was a kid, I was on the tennis team, and I ball boyed for Nastasi and Vitas Gerlach. Is that where you got your attitude from? Absolutely.
And look who's coming up.
Javi.
Whoa. That's going to stay in. Pop up to shortstop. Easily grabbed by the Chipmeister. And that's 3.
Hanging out with international tennis superstar and damn good-looking guy Luke Jensen, who just hit a 3-run homer. Luke, how's it feel?
Well, it was unbelievable because they got the fans working right behind me. I was able to talk to the crew yesterday and say as soon as I hit, get the fans cranked up, and then you can see that lift right at the end.
Are you going to plan to stay the course, or do you think the team needs to do anything different to win this game?
Well, I think as long as we stay focused, stop looking at the chicks, we'll be fine.
The Shack in a little bit of trouble right now, Captain Bob.
Their bats have not been lively. And now Clark Howard.
You know what? Wouldn't it be just like Clark Howard to bloop one in there and get a cheap hit?
Cheap, exactly.
You hit the ball and then you run to first base like they're building a Costco on it.
Crash Clark putting incentive down there on first base.
And Howard goes down on strikes.
Jimmy, I am so sorry. That was a really bad.
I know, you tried. That's okay,
really
Clark,
bad.
you tried.
Hey, I am so sorry, guys.
Still apologizing for the strikeout.
Need to give him some lessons.
And now Jimmy, who's obviously upset at the plate.
Oh, okay.
A line shot, a single.
Ponytail boy is up.
What did she call him? Ponytail boy?
Ponytail boy.
Yeah.
Only girls wear ponytails.
Ooh.
Bouncer to third. Andrew Jones with the play at first, and that's 3 away.
Now, Evan, you've been pitching the whole game. How's that arm doing?
It's hanging in there so far. Yeah.
Still, it looks like you still got some juice left.
It's doing all right. Where we up 11-8, so as long as we're ahead, I guess it's doing okay.
So maybe in the future you could give up the music thing, and what do you think? Major leagues?
I started here with baseball, then I went to music. Maybe I'll go back. You never know. I'm not committed either way.
You're multi-talented.
It's very kind of you. I wouldn't say that. Whatever. I just enjoy playing baseball. It's a lot of fun.
How is the BS team doing?
I think we're doing pretty well. We need to score a couple more runs. I mean, I need a little more cushion. As a pitcher, I like to have a little more than a 3-run lead against a team as good as the Hitting Shack.
Has your manager Barnes kept his cool?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, I know him, you know, I mean, he definitely tends to lose at school, but so far so good.
Well, Evan, good luck to you. Doesn't look like there's anyone in the bullpen quite yet, so you may have a couple innings still left in you.
We'll see what happens. You know, as a pitcher, I always like to stay into the end, you know?
Excellent, Evan. Good luck, okay? Thanks.
Now leading off for the Barnstormers, Crash Clark. Foul ball coming our way. Big cut from Crash Clark.
I'll give you $100 right now if you let me take one more swing at it.
Okay, I don't know what that call is, but if it was a bad call, then it's even for the last inning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I at least just trot to first?
It's official, ladies and gentlemen. That was a strikeout. A round of applause for Crash Clark.
Can I go to first now?
So Crash goes down swinging, and now Ed Roland. Goldberg with the pickup at first base.
That's 3 unassisted.
3 away. Quick up and down. And leading off, Will Turpin. Here's a bouncer to the pitcher. On to first, and Will Turpin's thrown out for the first out of the 7th. And next up, Bill Goldberg. Towering home run in the first inning.
Oh, perfect.
Out to deep second base, and Ed Roland couldn't get there, and it's going to be a single for Bill Goldberg. And next up is Chipper Jones. Hard dropped in left field. So Chipper's going to reach on an error. Now Mark DeRosa. Runners on first and second.
Perfect.
A pop-up coming over the left side. It's right to the waiting glove of Andrew Jones.
Boy, he covered about 70 yards on the football field to track that one down.
Coming out of nowhere. That's 2 away. Now Jesse the Hammer Tuggle. With runners at first and second. Jesse with a bounce out to the pitcher, and that the final out of the inning. Out to left field, Jesse Tuggle is camped under the ball.
Grabs it like a can of corn.
Artie Hill goes out. And now, Jill Arrington.
Close up. And a hell of a bat, too.
And that got past the left fielder, Will Turpin. It's rolling under the left field fence for a stand-up ground rule double.
Stop.
Evan with a pop-up to center field. Arrington will hold at second. Barnes is up with 2 out. Barnes, it's high, it's deep. It's a single.
A long single. He wanted that homer.
Luke Jensen at the plate. Shot up the middle. And let's see, they're waving Arrington. No throw, but they fake Barnes off the base. He gets back and is called safe.
Well, it was right on the base. Look, you can see where it was up.
The makeup call because that bad call that you made earlier.
What are you talking about?
You need to get this guy out.
Argument out there as Dronette believes he tagged out Barnes on the play.
I was right there. Don't make me punch you, Dronette.
Barnes threatens to punch Dronette. Dronette threatens a lawsuit. Today's sports. That one's gonna hit the tarp. That'll be a long single and keep the bases loaded now with Andrew at first, Luke Jensen at second, and Barnes at third. 2 away for Ray Ferraro. Is the park gonna hold it? No, it's a long single, and that'll drive in 1 run as Barnes comes in to score. 13-8, Barnes Stormers.
Oh, dude.
Jim
All right,
Courier
come on,
next
let's
at the
go.
plate.
Right here, JC.
That's popped up to second base. Goldberg, Dronette. Goldberg's going to take it, and that's 3 away.
The hit and Shack stopped the bleeding.
13-8, Barnes Stormers. Now leading off for the hit and Shack, Evander Holyfield. And that's going to be a hit in left center field for Evander.
Oh, boy.
Shane Dronette next up for the hit and Shack. Dronette bounces to shortstop.
Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones with the throw out, and Evander goes down to second base. And off the bench comes Gina Miller.
Gina.
Line drive down the third base line. Let's see if they're going to wave Evander. No, the ball back quickly from Courier into shortstop Ray Ferraro, and Gina Miller with a base hit. And now Christian Valvo. Another liner into left field. Courier up with it. 1 run is going to score. Evander comes in, and we have runners at first and second, and maybe Axel, the hit and Shack, staging a comeback here in the 8th inning. And it seems as if we can't get a batter. No, they are going to allow Clark Howard. Clark fanned his last time at the plate.
He doesn't strike out.
Howard lines out to shortstop. A scorching liner to shortstop off the bat of Howard.
He was gypped, and that never happens to Clark Howard. Clark Howard never gets gypped.
Next up, Jimmy. Ball 1 on Jimmy. He works him for a walk. Next up, Ivan Rule with the bases loaded. Rule sharply hit to shortstop. Ray Ferraro comes up with it but can't make a play, and 1 run is in. Gina Miller scores.
Clawing their way back.
Next up, Will Turpin. That's 13-10, Stormers. Turpin with a hard liner into left field. Valvo scores. And it's 13-11.
Here they come. They hit.
And next up, Goldberg. Come on, Berg. Come on, baby.
This is what the fans came to see. Bases loaded, Goldberg at the plate.
Here comes trouble.
Popped up. Can Arrington make a play? Goldberg pops up to end the inning.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
I told Goldberg that this game was real, not fake. Kind of played a little mind games with him. He didn't understand that. That's what happens.
And leading off is Tommy Lopez. Another pop-up. Dronette goes back at second base. He drops it again. That's 2 errors at second base for Shane Dronette tonight. And Tom Glavine at the plate. Glavine with a short ball to left field, and Chipper Jones runs it down.
Is he playing short or left?
He's playing wherever the ball is. And now Butch Walker. To the pitcher. Over to second for one. That's a double play.
One inning left. You guys are down by 2 runs. What's the game plan?
I gotta try and start a rally. You know, get a little momentum back on our side. Maybe a big fly will help the cause.
You think maybe putting Clark Howard up to the plate might help out a little bit?
No, we need to keep Clark over on the bench as much as we can.
Yes, they're scared. They're absolutely scared. You look at them.
We got serious business here, man. There's no time to play around. I can't be giving you a lecture about why we're going to beat these guys, why these guys. They're kind of bruisers, you know. We're speed demons, but I can't really talk about that. I don't have time.
And leading off, Chipper Jones. His team down by 2, 13-11.
You might get one of them back right here. See him.
It ain't gonna hold that one. That's it. The longest ball tonight in the upper deck, Chipper Jones.
I think even as much as he costs, we're getting value for our money from that man right there.
And it's 13-12 on the long ball from Chipper. Now Mark DeRosa. Evan facing the meat of the order here. That's deep. The park's not going to hold that one.
Single.
Long single, however, for DeRosa. Next up, Jesse Tuggle. Runner on first. Nobody out.
13-12. It's a 1-run game.
Hard smash to short. There's the force out at second base. Ferraro over to Ed Roland, so 1 away. And now Evander Holyfield.
He's looking to TKO this ball, Bob.
Hard ball to shortstop. Ferraro up with it. Back to second for the force. Over to first, not in time. So another fielder's choice, and we have 2 out. 2 outs, and it's a 1-run ball game. 13-12. And next up is big Shane Dronette. One swing here could give the Hittin' Shack a 1-run lead.
One more out. One more out. That's all we need.
Dronette flies out to Jim Courier. And it's back to back to back to back for the Barnstormers.
Well, great job. So close. Closer than any other game that you've lost so far.
Well, that's encouraging. Thank you. That makes me feel good.
1 run, exciting, thrilling finish to the ball game.
You know, it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I expected a high-scoring game. Jimmy had some big guys, and that bomb that Chipper hit, the furthest of the night, That scared me.
13-12, though, ain't exactly a pitcher's duel. There was a lot of offense for the fans, a lot of foul balls out there, a lot of home run balls. Everybody got a piece of the action.
I've got to thank Goldberg for blowing it with bases loaded. That's Jill Arrington is our MVP. She rips the ball into left. That was a big hit to get us going. And Jill caught that ball under pressure back there behind Goldberg with bases loaded.
As we look at the dejected loser, Jimmy, I would like to say, even though he lost the ball game, MDA has won, and I'd congratulate all of you fellas on what you've done at 99X for MDA and this charity again this year.
You know, Axel, you and everyone, Leslie and Bob and everyone who took time to be here tonight, you know, no one got paid to be here, and everyone did it for charity because they want to and because they care, and that's what's most important.
So it's been once again a wonderful evening here tonight on behalf of all of us for Turner South, for 99X, and all the wonderful celebrities who showed up here to play in this game tonight. On behalf of Muscular Dystrophy Association, we'll say so long from the Georgia Dome.